The Alchemist's Choice, Balancing Shadows and Light. In the faraway kingdom of Ethereal, emotions had power. Joy burst into the sky as brilliant light, sorrow rained down as silver mist, and anger rolled across the land like a fierce storm. Every citizen carried these feelings, and their inner states shaped the world around them. Talia, a young healer, lived at the edge of the kingdom in a quiet glen surrounded by ancient oak trees. She was known for her gentle touch and calming presence, healing both the body and mind. But there was one thing she had yet to understand fully: the role of the sacred potions, the mystical medicines brewed by the kingdom's alchemists. These potions, said to be crafted from the tears of the stars and whispers of the moon, could quiet the storms of the mind, and many in Ethereal relied on them to manage their emotions when they became overwhelming. For years, Talia had treated villagers with these potions, offering them solace from their burdens. But there was one potion she had always hesitated to use: the elixir of the shadows, a potion meant to heal the mind when it became lost in darkness, in depression. The villagers spoke of its power and how it could bring immediate relief, yet something deep within Talia wondered if there was another way. Could there be a balance between relying on the potion and finding one's own strength to heal? Her questions began to weigh heavily on her after she met Lyora, a woman from the nearby village who had long struggled with dark, swirling thoughts. Lyora's mind had become a labyrinth of shadows, and her once bright laughter was now silent, as if it had been swallowed by the dark forest of her mind. Talia had watched her deteriorate over the months, unable to pull herself from the depths of despair. One autumn morning, Lyora came to Talia's cottage, her face pale and her eyes dull. "I can't do it anymore," she whispered. "I need the elixir of the shadows. It's the only thing that will bring me peace." Talia's heart ached. She could feel the depth of Lyora's pain, and every healer's instinct told her to give the potion to ease her suffering. But a voice inside whispered, "Not yet. There is something more she must find." Instead of immediately reaching for the shimmering bottle of potion that sat on her shelf, Talia took Lyora's hand and led her outside. They walked in silence through the glen, past the winding river and under the canopy of ancient oaks, until they reached a clearing. In the center of the clearing was a circle of stones, an old place of power where emotions could be felt more deeply, and where the earth hummed with ancient wisdom. "Sit with me," Talia said softly as they settled on the mossy ground. The sun filtered through the trees, casting dappled light across Lyora's troubled face. Talia didn't offer the elixir, but instead guided Lyora in a practice that began with breath slow and gentle, like the rhythm of the wind through the trees. Together, they sat in silence, feeling the earth beneath them, grounding them, tethering them to the present moment. With every inhale, Talia encouraged Lyora to notice the sensations in her body, the tension in her chest, the heaviness in her limbs, the weight of her mind. As Lyora breathed deeper, the shadows of her thoughts began to move, shifting like mist in the morning light. "I know you feel lost," Talia whispered after some time, "and there are moments when the darkness seems too great to bear. But before you choose the elixir, I want you to feel your strength. The strength that still lies within you, even in the darkness." Lyora opened her eyes, her expression uncertain. "What if it's not enough? What if I can't escape this?" "The elixir is here, and it can help," Talia said, her voice calm and steady. "But it is not the only way. You have power inside you, power that is quiet but strong." The elixir can quiet the storm, but it cannot show you the way back to yourself. Only you can do that. For hours they sat together as Talia guided Lyora through the depths of her emotions, not forcing them away, but allowing them to be felt, acknowledged, and released. And with each passing moment, Lyora's breathing became steadier, her shoulders lighter, and the shadows within her began to lift, ever so slightly. When the sun began to set, casting the clearing in golden light, Talia reached for the bottle of the elixir of the shadows. She placed it gently in Lyora's hands. "This is here if you need it," she said softly. "But remember, it is not the only path. You have already begun to find your own." Lyora stared at the bottle for a long moment, then looked up at Talia, her eyes filled with a quiet determination. "I think I'll wait," she said, her voice stronger than before. And in that moment, both healer and patient understood that healing is not just about the tools we use, but the choices we make when to seek help, and when to trust the strength that lies within.